So my name is Claire. That's Gracie, and that's Amelia. And together we have had a very successful equestrian career. But the most important moment of that career was realizing that nothing that I was doing was real. That I was spending all of my time trying to make it look like I was doing something when I wasn't actually doing anything. I made the decision that I wanted more. I changed my idea of success from being about teaching tricks that got me awards to creating a partnership where I didn't just take things, but I got things through understanding, willingness, and cooperation. And I had to do it without words, by changing my approach to how I partnered with my horse. Sorry. So can you talk to a horse? Sure. But words are only sounds to those who don't speak our language. Horses speak with their bodies. If I wanted to have a meaningful conversation with them, then I had to do it without words. I had to speak to them in a way that they understood. I've learned some big lessons. Here are my top 5. Big lesson number 1, and I know this sounds obvious, but I can't just say I'm a leader. I need to actually lead. I need to put myself in a position so that I can ask for something and stay out of their way as much as possible. When I lead them, I don't walk ahead and drag them from behind, and I don't stand behind them and push them forward. I walk beside them, and I teach them to walk with me. So now let's talk about us. Being a leader to other people is not about a job title or status. We can't rely on those things to make us a leader, and we don't need them to lead. Leadership is about our actions, it's about our expertise, and it's about the journey that we can take others on. So big lesson number 2. If I expect them to be present, then I need to be present. And I want them to be present. I want them to be present because I want to have a meaningful conversation with them. If I'm distracted, then I'm not listening to them. One-way conversations are never as rewarding. When I'm with my horse, I have to clear my head of the tweets I sent out earlier with the typo in it, and of the driver who clearly doesn't know what a traffic circle is. They don't know or care why I'm upset that day. They care that I'm being tough in my interactions or that I'm ignoring them. For people, this goes beyond putting our phones down. Although that's a big part of it. We can be in the same room as someone and not actually be with them. We should take care to be focused on the people we are with. We need to listen to them and be with them. Being present also helps us to respond, not react. Big lesson number 3, I need to be clear and consistent in my expectations and how I ask for things. Doing this helps break apart the signal from the noise. If we've stepped up to be leaders, then we need to take responsibility for what we are asking. If I ask my horse to go forward and they walk off slowly, and I accept that, then I've created the understanding that that is the acceptable response to that request. It's not fair for me to get mad at them later because they didn't go forward at a gallop this time when I asked in the exact same way. And it's not fair for me to ask differently each time. We ask people to do things, then it isn't much different. Horses and people generally are not against us. They don't usually have a problem with doing something that we're asked, as long as they understand clearly what we are asking and have the ability to do it. Big lesson number 4, apologies by themselves don't mean anything. If I make a mistake, then the best thing I can do is to not make that mistake again. This is where words fool us into thinking that we've done something by simply saying something. My horses have taught me that words can be such a cop-out. If my hand slips while I'm brushing my horse's face and I accidentally poke them in the eye, they don't care if I apologize. They don't want me doing that again. If I continue to make that mistake, then they will get scared any time my hand starts to move up towards their face. As a human being, I still think that it's important to use words to acknowledge regrets between each other, and of course keep hallmark in business. But then it's up to us to be more careful in our interactions. Apologies to other people, not followed by a change in behavior, is not an apology. Big lesson number 5. Be wary of tension and don't let it build up. It's common to think that resistance is overcome by applying more force. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of thermodynamics about that, but don't look that up. This escalation of pressure and tension takes us further and further away from the relationship that we want to have. I'll tell you what drives me bonkers. A lot of riders think that if they squeeze a horse with their legs, the horse will go faster. When this doesn't work, they squeeze harder and harder until both horse and rider are angry and exhausted. In these cases, the horses also start to anticipate this tension and carry it with them. Now, I'll tell you something that makes me sad. Another response to this kind of tension can be numbness. When people put too much or continual pressure on their partner, then as a defense mechanism, we can just turn ourselves off. Acquiescence is not the same as acceptance. Horses and humans are diametrically opposed. Horses are prey and humans predators. Instinctual reasons suggest why we shouldn't make good partners, why a predator-prey partnership, P3 if you will, shouldn't work. But all of these things I just talked about can create a beautiful relationship of understanding, trust, and freedom of expression for both horse and rider. Humans are much more complex. I get it. And our relationships with each other are more complex than with horses. But I would like to challenge us all to look for ways to build more meaningful partnerships with those humans in our lives, based on a little horse sense. So thanks, Amelia, and thanks, Gracie.